What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This video is quite a impromptu video. As you can see, I'm in my car. My name is Lori. If you are new here, I am a family nurse practitioner. I have been gone from YouTube for a little bit. I haven't uploaded a video in 2 weeks, and that's because of the title of this video. I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out not from YouTube, but I'm burnt out from this nurse practitioner role. If you're new to my channel, I work primarily in a nursing home setting, and I have been practicing now as a nurse practitioner almost 3 years. October 1st will be 3 years since I have been practicing. And when I tell you, the burnout right now is real for me. I am almost tapped out. I will say I'm almost tapped out. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I gave notice to my job because I was just feeling incredibly over it. When I tell you that burnout is real for nurse practitioners, I know some of you are confused because you're thinking burnout as a nurse practitioner. Please don't say that, because I'm working at the bedside right now and I'm trying to escape the bedside and being burned out as a bedside nurse. I was that person as well. In fact, one of the reasons why I became a nurse practitioner is because I was trying to escape being burnt out from the bedside as a nurse. I didn't think that I would have this feeling this early on. And when it comes on to being burned out, you can be burned out from any job, but it's something about nursing and in the nursing space that just burns people out quickly. You go into it thinking one thing and then something else happen. I wanted to share this with you guys because on my channel I really try to be transparent, because I do think that sometimes we put a pretty bow on the nursing space and package it and sell it as if it's utopia, and then people go in and they're like, what? I didn't know that that was going to happen. Everybody's experience is going to be different. Let me say that. I do think that the current job that I am in is probably why I'm burned out. And I've talked a lot on my channel about my regret of doing family NP, because primary care setting, the nursing home setting, is really not for me. And I get a lot of messages from some of you guys saying, well, why don't you just go back to school and get your acute care certification? Even when I decide to going back to school to get this acute care certification, now this is something that I toyed around with for a very long time, and I'm still toying around with this idea. But one of the reasons why I think a lot of NPs and new NPs and NPs who are in my stage are being burnt out quickly is because of the demands that are put on us. A lot of us get jobs from like a one physician, even if you're in a physician's group, and they expect you to see certain amount of patients. Now, a lot of physicians do not care about how many hours you work. They care about your productivity, how many patients you can see, because the more patients you see, the more money they are making, because the more they can bill. When you graduate from NP school and you start working, a lot of these physicians and stuff, when you find a job with them, I don't really know much about working in the hospital setting and what the workload is like. So if you're an NP and you work in a hospital setting, comment down below and let me know what the workload is like for that NP and what you think about it. The hospital setting, the NPs do hours, so it's a shift work. Just like if you work urgent care, it's a shift work. You work urgent care, you work 8 hours, 10 hours, or 12 hours. But you cannot predict how many people come through that urgent care door. I had a friend who was working in urgent care, and some days it's like 80 patients a day. I know another young lady that works in an urgent care. She said her urgent care is slow and she sees maybe 20 patients a day. But when I go to the hospital and I work, it depends how many patients is in the hospital and is on my list for me to see. I've gone to the hospital before and there is 15 patients on my list. I've gone and there's 40 patients on my list to see. When it comes on to like working in primary care offices, I had a young lady that even reached out to me on Instagram, and she said, you know, she had to tell the staff, the front desk staff, that you guys need to really be mindful about how many patients you're booking for me, because you're booking these patients back to back to back and I cannot keep up. When it comes on to the productivity and just going, it gets to be a lot, and it gets a little bit overwhelming. The patient load will sometimes cripple you and just makes everything overwhelming. For me and my job, when I see my regular patients in the nursing home setting, I feel okay. I don't really feel stressed out or overwhelming when I do my wound care rounds, because if you guys don't know, I do wound care also as part of my job. I cannot predict how many patients I see, right? When I go to the facility presents me with their patients that has wounds that they consult the wound care team for. One facility will have 15, one will have 45. Now 45 patients to see in a day is a lot, in my opinion. That's a lot of patients. And even though I'm doing wound care and I'm supposed to be the provider, just looking at the wounds and writing the progress notes and doing the orders, that's not really what I'm doing. Currently I am in the thick of just burnt out from this. I was looking at other jobs and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is going to be totally different? Maybe the setting will be different, but I really have to weigh my pros and my cons, because there's one saying that my granny always used to say: you don't want to jump out a frying pot and jump in the fire. I'm kind of in this frying pot over here, but I don't want to jump into a fire. Comment down below and let me know if you're a nurse practitioner, you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling burnt out and you've not even been an NP for 5 years. I do realize that nurse practitioners and physicians, we practice a little bit different. If you've ever been to the doctor's office and the doctor is coming into the room and they have one hand on the door knob to walk out, a lot of times it's not even because they want to do that. It's really the state of affairs of the American healthcare system, because the more patients you see, that's how you bill and that's how you make a living and that's how you make your money. And in the case of a nurse practitioner, in my opinion, because we are used to the bedside where we're sitting and we're holding our patients' hands and we're trying to explain everything to our patients, and we do that, we come into this role, and some of us, not all of us, kind of still do that. So it takes us a little longer time to get through a patient. Now, I'm not saying every physician rush and don't explain things to you, but there's a difference there in how NPs will practice and how a physician will practice, because of just how we were taught and what our background is. This is a pretty impromptu video, but I really wanted to, share this with you guys and let you guys know that there is a thing called nurse practitioner burnout. A lot of times when you get these jobs with these physicians, they just, like I said, it's the productivity. They want you to see 20, whatever, how many patients that they want you to see. And if you want to work 2 hours, make sure you can see 20 patients in 2 hours. So it's not about how many hours you work. And people ask me this all the time. It doesn't matter how many hours a day I work. It don't. It matters about how many patients I see. And sometimes, depending how your contract is set up, you get incentives for certain things. And yes, getting incentives and getting extra money is okay, but I don't want to say money is not everything. Money is not everything. Yes, we need money to survive, but you still have to take care of your mental. My big thing, if you've watched me for any amount of time, is I get stressed out a lot from working in a nursing home and seeing the things that goes on in a nursing home. It stresses me out to the point where I just get upset, I get mad, I complain about it all the time, and nothing is truly being done about it. And my husband was saying something to me the other day, like, you cannot force people to do what it is that they're supposed to do. You cannot get stressed out when people don't do their work. You have to do what you can do and do your best, and then that's all you can do. Also, I added to that, I'll just chart my ass off saying, I told you to do this, this, and this, and I'm following up on this, this, and this, and it's not done to protect myself. It's sad, and when I tell you that cost me so much stress, you guys have seen it. If you watch any of my vlogs, you've seen me with the ranting and all of that, and I'm kind of over that. I am so over that, and I don't want to get to the point where I'm saying I don't care. Like, I don't want to get to that point, because you should never get to that point in a field like this. Like, you just shouldn't. I'm trying to figure out what my next move is. I'll keep you guys posted in what I decide on doing. I'm in the thick of it. All right, guys, I need to go to work. That's it. That's all I got. Quick rant. I hope it wasn't too long. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Click your notification bell. Like the video if you do. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, and I'll definitely catch you guys up. Bye.